Richard. Allow me to greet all my friends and colleagues. I'm aware that we've been joined by even the Lesotho Rugby Academy, a board member there. And I'm so happy, which is my good friend, whereby we met in St. Davis, Cardiff, and then we went all over to Llanaf to watch rugby between Scarlet and the Blue Bulls playing. So yeah, and also may I kindly pass the apology of another Lesotho Olympian who won't be able to join us. She is in the military, and then her boss demanded that she must attend one meeting. And then she said she will be late, only if she will catch up with us. But then, fortunately, I have Mr. Moroke with me, who is an Olympian, and his story is so fascinating. You will hear from him and from his experience, of course. So this will be myself, and then him from Lesotho for now, until another Olympian come and join us. Until then, let's just say there's only two of us here in the room today. So may I continue now with my presentation?
Yes, wonderful.
Thank you. All right. By the way, my name is Disito Motseremedi. I am the founder of the Lesotho Rugby Academy. I was born here in Lesotho in the district called Berea, and then I was raised there, and then I am number 6 in the 10 siblings. This is amazing. Number 6 in the 10 siblings. I've got my 7 brothers, boys. We are 7 boys and then 3 girls. And then, yes, I grew up playing taekwondo. I was national champ, regional champ, and African or the continental champ. I attended some international games, but I never made it to the Olympic game. So, but of course, I've been one of the best in Lesotho and in Africa, across Africa. And then apparently, I am the founder also of the Federation of Lesotho Rugby, whereby I am holding the position of the CEO. And also, I am the chairperson or the president of the Lesotho Sport and Recreation Commission, which is the motherboard of all sports in Lesotho. Now, my sports background, as I told you that I grew up playing taekwondo, then I became a national champ, I became regional champ and the continental champ. I attended World Taekwondo Championships several times, and I never made it to the Olympic Games and the Commonwealth Games, of course. But then from playing taekwondo, being recognized by my fellow African brothers and sisters, and I started rugby back in 2011 because I was fortunate enough that I was exposed to sport in general. So now, because of that privilege, I was now able to really study, maybe wanted to start something which I can say I will give back to my community, whereby I will be able to go to schools and teach kids about sports and how important sport is. As you know, Richard, that here in Lesotho, our schools, our landscape of schools in Lesotho are not really good because in Lesotho, we only have 2 pitches, sports pitches. It's a football pitch and then the netball pitch. If maybe a baby boy is not really good in football, when they expelled him from playing football, they have nothing to do, because here in Lesotho, we expect boys to play football, girls to play netball. And then with the netball pitch, when a girl joins the netball team and she's not good, she doesn't have talent in netball, when they expel them, they have nothing to do. They end up being called school persons. So that is not right. So we started, the reason why we started rugby is because in the rugby field, we have 15 players. Now, in that 15 players, each and every player has own position. Like for instance, we've got different shapes in the rugby field, different sizes, and different heights and then different sizes, you know. So like I'm saying, each and every player has got a role to play. If they expel you from the previous sport that you were trying, maybe they tell you that you are too big. In rugby, we have got a proper position for you. If they expel you and they tell you that you are too thin, in rugby, we've got a scrum half or fly half position for you, even the wing position for you. So there's no way that rugby cannot give any person of any shape or any height of any whatsoever. So it means rugby is so accommodative for both boys and girls. So the reason why we started rugby was because I needed to give back to my community and also to give this opportunity to those youth who have been expelled from playing these other sports which they deemed to play. Now, with that, the Lesotho Rugby Academy has reached more than 8,000 boys and girls from respective schools and from different districts, all over from Kachasnek, from Kuting, Mohalsuk, Leribe, Mafteng, and Berea. So, as well as Maseru. This is what we have done. And some of those boys and girls, they have become coaches today. They are coaching some girls in schools and in the villages. And then while others are now representing the Lesotho Rugby national team. We also have few of them who are now playing in the South African competitive league. So it means they've been paid from competing in South Africa. Some of them are playing for Cheetahs. And imagine if we did not start rugby back then, we would not have been able to have these talented boys and girls who have showcased their talent. So it is because of the background of the sport that I was exposed to. And then I realized how lucky I was. So I wanted to showcase that even these girls and boys from different schools, whereby they've been expelled, they can also showcase their talent and they can shine, which is what they are doing today. They are shining. I would not have been the president of the Lesotho Sport and Recreation Commission if I did not have the background I have from sport. So me being raised from playing sport and then become a coach, become an administrator, end up being in the helm of the sport or the pinnacle of the sport in Lesotho. I wasn't dreaming of that, but it just came in the nick of time because of the achievement, because of the opportunities that sport showed me. So because of that opportunity, what I would say to our learners, to our friends in Wales, is that sport is the door opener. Sport is the key to everything. Whatever you do, you must bear in your mind, even if you are just doing it you take sport as a hobby. But at the end of the day, you might find yourself that you are so talented that that sport, you took it as a hobby, it is now becoming a professional career to you. Look where I am today. My friend here next to me, he is going to share exactly what has transpired in his life. As I am talking, I'm not the one who is going to talk on his behalf. He will tell you what he is doing because of the sport, because of the opportunity that sport brought to him. He will just share with you how has he come to where he is today. It is because of the sport that he has been exposed to the world, that he has been exposed to where he is today. He has achieved a lot. The reason why, again, I invited him to come and share with us is because he is still very young and very active, but his history is immensely. It's big, it's huge. I mean, at his age, what he has achieved it's amazing. He has been into Commonwealth, he has been into Olympics, he's all over. He's now even in the pinnacle of the sports administration in Lesotho. So when I stepped out of this chair, he will be coming to join and then he will be sharing his background with you. And then after that, you'll be able to ask questions here and there for clarity's sake. So allow me to pause here for now. I will come back unless maybe you got questions for me before he comes in and share with you his background. Richard?
Okay, that was really interesting. And I just want to say that you travel to a lot of places. You are a very, very busy man, aren't you?
Of course, I am very, very busy. Even the first week of December, I'll be going out of Lesotho to another African country here through sport. I just got back home. I was in Zimbabwe. Then I'll be in Namibia. I will also be in Eswatini next week, of course. So that is the opportunity, that is the advantage which sports offered to us, the administrators, people who realized that we are likely to be exposed to sport, to participate in sport.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Can I just offer it out to anybody now, please? If you don't want to ask it, just put a question in the chat. But does anybody have a question for Desitso? Because he's given you a lot of information there, with some very clear messages about what sport brings to your life. So, does anybody have any questions at this stage? Is something that we can go back to later if you want. Any questions? Catherine, are you about to speak? Yes. Brilliant. Go for it. You're on mute. We can't hear you.
I know. I was just my mouse stopped working. I couldn't unmute myself. So really nice to meet everybody, especially you. How do I say your name correctly?
Desitso.
Desitso. It's really nice
You've
to
got
meet
it right. You've got it right.
We are speaking to you from Bro Preseli. We are in the westest of Wales. And we
Okay.
also love rugby very, very much in our region. Our question to you is, we enjoyed your presentation. It's so interesting. And we also share in your belief that sports opens doors to all children. So we're really pleased to hear that we have aligned principles in that respect. Our question to you is this: as chair of Sports and Recreation for Lesotho, what other sports do you endorse as well as rugby?
Wow. We endorse a good personality, sportsmanship, gender equality, whereby we don't discriminate anyone, no matter your political background, your educational background, your family background, and of course, how you look, your gender at large. So those are the things which we really do away with them. And in sports, we really urge people to be welcome, to welcome anyone and everyone, no matter where they come from, no matter their skin color, no matter their size of the body or their backgrounds.
Thank you.
Those are what we endorse. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very interesting to hear that equality is so important to you, because it's also important to us. And we can't wait to visit our school, Mount Royal High School in Leribe, where they also have deaf students. And we'd love to learn more about the equality in sports for pupils and learners with disabilities.
What is very important is that even in Montreal, we have established some few sporting activities whereby we have learned sign languages. So we are now able to communicate with our friends from Montreal, and then with their language, or the language which they understand most. So we are the one who had to step up and join and learn sign language so that we can accommodate them. So when we play rugby with them, because they can't hear the whistle, there are some signs which we do. We take some papers, and then when we play, as we play, instead of blowing the whistle, we rest up maybe the white paper or the pink paper, so they know that we have to stop this when we play rugby. So those are the things that we came up with them. So they are really enjoying playing rugby with us, and we are so excited that we are very inclusive.
That's fantastic. I have 11 students here with me this morning, so they were really keen to hear about that. So thank you.
That's awesome. Great seeing you guys. You look fantastic. You look
We have
fantastic.
some rugby players here.
Wow. Hi. Hello.
But we also have some footballers and some netballers, and they wanted to know actually what other sports do you really promote?
Actually, because of me being the president of all sports in Lesotho, I promote each and every sport codes that are across the country. Athletics, football, netball, boxing, table tennis, netball, swimming, aquatics, equestrian, you can name them all. Golf, cricket, name them all. We got them here and then we promote all of them. And guess what? I myself have been lucky enough to be exposed to all those sports, even though my life now was with rugby. So rugby was my favorite, but I played all of those sports. I played all of them. So now, here's the catch. When you walk around the street of Lesotho, you ask anyone about me, they will tell you who that man is. You go to the national TV, I'm always on the national TV. You read a local newspaper, I'm always on the newspaper. You listen to the radio stations, they are always talking about me being an athlete, becoming an administrator, and being in the pinnacle of sport, which is the president of the Lesotho Sports Commission. So I'm saying this because I just wanted to show you how good sport is and how far can sport take you. If you are alone, you can go fast where you want to go. But if you want to go far, you go with people, then you can go far. So with sport, you can't go alone. You'll have a group of people to walk with you along this journey so that you can be able to achieve. One day, you'll be famous. You'll be all in the newspapers, all on the TV. People will be talking about you on the street. When you pass by, they will just shake each other and then trying to show, hey, do you know that guy? Do you know that lady? So that's what they are doing. That's how famous sport made us in Lesotho and across Africa, of course.
It's really good to meet one of the legends of Lesotho this morning. Our pupils are all nodding, going, wow. Thank you.
You are welcome. I've seen a question here, if I'm able to respond to it.
Do you want me to read it? There's two there, both from CSTLC, Nick's school. Can you see them?
I can only see one, which is saying, who is the most successful sports person who has come to Lesotho? Okay, let me start with this one, the one that I've just read. The most famous sports person who came to Lesotho was the tennis player. Can you guess who? The most famous tennis player. Can you guess who, my friends? I just need you to guess. One of the most tennis famous player.
This player is the most.
What? Good question. Not sure.
Who came to Lesotho?
I'm going to cheat.
Go on, Rich.
Wilfred Tsonga.
What's it?
Tsonga.
Wilfred Tsonga?
No. You're almost there. By the way, he is half South African and he's half Spanish.
Oh.
I gave you a clue now.
Go on. Half South African, half Spanish.
Well, I've got, it says here, Mpho Leshowele.
He actually have 22 Grand Slam. All right. It's Roger Federer.
No, I just
What?
no way. I just seen it.
Laugh Swift.
Just
Roger
no.
Federer was here, and then I was privileged enough. So the reason why I'm also
Wow.
saying, if you play sport, I will share you the picture of him with me and my friends, and together with my friends who's next to me. So we were with Roger Federer. We enjoyed enjoyed coffee together. We went to see tennis. We went to watch all other sporting coaches in Lesotho. He promised to come back again to Lesotho because he had a very great time in Lesotho. So Roger Federer, the most successful tennis player in the world, he was in Lesotho. He wanted to help Lesotho with sport. So that's how privileged we are. So the second question, it says, which most popular sport played in Lesotho? Of course, here in Lesotho, we've got football. It's the most popular one, but not the most successful one. We've got the most successful. We've got taekwondo. We've got boxing. This individual sport. We've got chess. We've got rugby now. Rugby is the fastest growing sport in Lesotho. Soccer is a popular sport. But boxing, they've been going to Olympics, they've been going to Commonwealth, we even have a Commonwealth medals in boxing. So that's how, and even in taekwondo, that's how popular boxing and taekwondo, and athletics, of course. Athletics, we've got a Commonwealth gold. So we are the Commonwealth gold holder in athletics. So that's how good we are in Lesotho with all these sports. So yeah, the most popular is a football, but not the most successful one. Yeah, any other?
I can't see anything at the moment, but please keep your questions coming. You can see what fantastic answers you get from Deceit when you put your questions in. Throw me a bit with Roger Federer. Can't really match that one. So we're okay for now. Yeah, back over to you.
Right. Can I give it to my friend now to share his story with you? Richard?
Yes, yeah, carry on. Sorry, it was
Right.
somebody there, mic on.
Good
Hi.
afternoon. How are you?
I think I can speak on behalf of everybody else. We're doing really good, and we're pretty impressed so far. You've got a tough act to follow there with Deceit, but we're so interested to hear what you have to say and about your journey with your sport.
All right, thanks. I will first start by introducing myself. I am Moroke Mokhoto, Oli, as an Olympian. I was born in the district called Mafeking, and then I was raised in the district called Maseru, capital city. And then I came to Maseru, it was in 1997, and I was born in 1990. And when I come to Maseru, I lived in the small village called Hatsun. And then later on, my family moved to Ditabaneng. And we are 8 to 9 in the family. I'm the only boy. I'm the only boy in the family. And I'm the third child in my family. And then I've written a brief summary of my journey in sport here. And I would like maybe to try to read them, and then we'll elaborate thereafter.
Right.
My name is Moroke Mokhoto Oli, a proud son of Lesotho, a retired International Boxing Association open boxer. By then it was called AIBA. That was amateur boxing. Then later on it was introduced as an open boxing, because it was now catering for amateurs and professional boxers. My journey into boxing began in December 2008 during my Christmas break of my secondary school years. Boxing wasn't a sport initially I loved. I was passionate about soccer. However, one fateful day, while heading to the soccer pitch, two of my schoolmates convinced me to visit the nearby Makwanyana Boxing Club. It is in the barracks, just near my domicile. They teased that soccer was for girls in my village. They say soccer, it was meant for ladies, not for boys. Every boy should play at least taekwondo or boxing. That goes to martial arts. And then I had to challenge and give a boxing a try by then. That first week at the gym was very tough. It was on Monday, if I can remember well, when I first arrived. Then on Wednesday, I went to my soccer. Since that time, I was doing basic movements in boxing, and I felt bored since all I wanted was to put on gloves and throw some punches, because that's all they tempted me for. While we were at school, just a day before the schools closed, they came along with the gloves, and then we put on the gloves, and then we started throwing some punches to each other, even though we were not hitting each other, because we didn't know anything about boxing. So we didn't know the actual basics about it. So when I arrived in the gym, they started to show me some basics, and then it was so irritating, and then I felt bored, and I went back to soccer. And then on Thursday, when I arrived in the hall, meaning in the boxing hall, they asked me about where I was yesterday. I genuinely told them, not knowing that I was going to be in deep trouble, subsequent my honesty. And then after that, they said, okay, you are here to play. You are joking with us. You just came here on Monday, and then on Thursday you go, on Wednesday you go back to soccer. That means you were just coming here to challenge us. And then they switched on the program that was meant for that day. Instantly, they said it was sparring day. And then it was a rotational sparring. You can just imagine, I was just a beginner. So those people were trying to punish me, and I was hurt brutally by those experienced boxers, and I was injured and hospitalized. There is a hospital in the military in the barracks, where they only admit military, is it military? Military kids, yes, military kids and their staff. But I was taken there because I got injury while I was playing in their hall, in their premises. So they had to take me and rush me there. I took almost 2 to 3 days in the hospital. Then they discharged me. I went home. They then changed the program, claiming that I'm full of jokes. They then gave me gloves, and it was rotational sparring. I was brutally hurt by those experienced boxers and injury. Despite this rough start, I refused to quit. Instead, I was determined to prove myself. I worked tirelessly, training late at night, often until 8 p.m. after school, and sacrificing some weekends. Each and every weekend, I used to have individual training, just because I wanted to catch up, so that on Monday when you go to train, I'm a bit forward compared to Friday when we were at the gym. So I always wanted to be a little bit advanced in everything we do. So I could do it on my own, so that when we get to the train, I'm okay. Then where was I? Let me see. And I sacrificed my weekends. Within 4 months, I managed to defeat 4 of my gym teammates in the sparring matches, even though they weren't in my weight category. This achievement fueled my motivation and marked the beginning of my boxing journey. In 2011, I became a national champion after placing third and second in my previous national championships. From that year until my retirement in 2022, I remained undefeated in the country, a record I'm incredibly proud of. This accomplishment solidified my position as one of the country's top boxers and gave me the confidence to excel internationally. In 2012, I earned an Olympic Solidarity Scholarship, which allowed me to have an access to training facilities. Even though Lesotho lacks proper boxing gyms, the scholarship provided me access to recreational centers for conditioning, helping me to further develop as an athlete. In 2014, I made history by winning silver medal at the African Boxing Championships, the first ever silver medal for Lesotho in this event for boxing. Later that year, I reached the quarterfinals at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. That was in Glasgow, despite it being my first major international tournament. I was eliminated in quarterfinals. And for those games, during that games, I was the flag bearer of Lesotho. In 2015, I was one of the 2 athletes who brought medals home from the African Games, becoming the first to achieve consecutive medal wins for Lesotho in this competition. Then later that year, we went for Olympic qualifying tournaments. That was in, where was it? It was in Senegal. Then I qualified, being I was at the 4th position. Then I qualified for Rio 2016 Olympic Games. In 2016, I fulfilled a lifelong dream by qualifying for Olympic Games, overcoming immense challenges with limited resources. As you know, that Lesotho is less privileged compared to some countries in terms of resources, in terms of finances, in terms of everything. I returned to Commonwealth Games in 2018. Once again, reaching the quarterfinals, and I was beaten by Northern Ireland boxer, yeah, in the quarterfinals. After competing in my second Olympics, after competing in my second Commonwealth Games, I then moved to 2022, where I competed for the 3rd time in Commonwealth Games, and that was my very last one. Then after that, I decided to retire, concluding an illustrious career that had spent over a decade. Then, to give back to my community and the sport that shaped me, I founded the Rocket Sport Academy, ROSA, in 2022. And then I pioneered it with boxing, badminton, and now we have athletics. The academy focuses on nurturing young athletes and providing them with opportunities I lacked earlier in my career. Because I started boxing, I was 18 years old, whereas I wished that I could have started at least while I was 10 years. Recognizing the importance of education, I also completed short courses in sports administration and a diploma in sports administration, and I'm now pursuing postgraduate certificate in international sports management with the University of London. Today, I proudly serve as an Athletes Commission chairperson in Lesotho, representing African athletes as a member of Commonwealth Games Federation's Athletes Advisory Commission. Additionally, I lead the Commonwealth Games Alumni Pilot Program, focusing on leveraging the experiences of retired athletes to inspire and support the next generation. Boxing has taught me resilience, discipline, and the power of perseverance. My journey proves that with determination and hard work, it's possible to overcome challenges and achieve greatness. Through my story and work, I hope to inspire young athletes to dream big and never give up. Thank you.
Oh, Caleb and Daddy, that was such a fantastic. Thank you for sharing your story. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? And you've been so successful. It's just amazing to listen. I've got, I could really take over. I've got lots of questions, but I'm going to offer it out to the schools. So please, if you want to just come onto the mic, if you want to ask a question, or if you want to put it into the chat, please go ahead.
One other thing, in 2014 and 2017, consecutively on national championships, I was identified one of the best boxers.
You've got such a successful back catalogue of things, and it's so impressive. I think Bro Praselli was first. Let's go over to you, Bro Praselli. Catherine.
Hi, we've got Gwen, one of our students, who'd like to ask a question.
What was it like representing your country at the Commonwealth Games?
Well, to me, it meant the world because in 2010, my club coach retired. And then in 28, was it 2008? No, 2006, Melbourne Commonwealth Games. He was the first boxer to bring home a silver medal. So I was very inspired to maybe be one of the best boxers, one of the boxers to bring home gold medal, because I always wanted to be on top of him. So yeah, it was an overwhelming experience.
Thank you. Anyone else with questions?
Yes, right. You got one from Rocco at the STLC. He was just asking if boxing wasn't an option, what other sport would have you gone into?
Well, during my primary days, while I was in primary school, I used to run 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers and 5 kilometers. And then as well as I was a soccer player, and then I was a captain of the school team. And then I went to secondary school, Form A, I was still captain and I was still running. Form B, I was still captain, I was still running. And then when I get to Form C, just because I was introduced to boxing, I didn't have enough time for soccer because the times were clashing. So I had to choose between those two. Which one do I want to go for? And then I chose boxing, and I left soccer and I left athletics. But soccer was my ideal sport from onset.
Thank you.
I remember you saying that, did I hear correctly, that when you were a child, that your family, your village, thought that soccer was for girls?
Well, yeah, that was a community myth. They said that soccer was it was meant for ladies. Even my own parents, they didn't want me to go to boxing because they said boxing is gonna turn me into a rebel or a notorious boy for that matter.
Yeah, I can understand that. And
Yeah.
you were the only son?
Excuse me?
You were the only son in your family?
Yes, I'm the only son in my family.
So you've got a lot of daughters.
They have
Sisters, sorry. You've got a lot of sisters.
Yeah, I have 7 sisters, and 2 of them passed away.
Oh,
And
sorry.
I'm left with 5 now. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But with your career, that because you've gone and you've spent dedicated so much of your time to sport, did you feel as many people do, pressure from your parents and expectations to do something else? Did they see a future for you in sport? Because that's very difficult to make a career, to make a living out of it for anybody. But did you have any sort of parental pressure?
Well, from onset, they didn't support me as a boxer. They only wanted to support me as a soccer player. And then they bought me soccer boots. And then they didn't know that I wasn't going there. I was going to boxing until they received a request letter from Lesotho Sport and Recreation Commission requesting me for my release from school and from home, because we were now going for camp. And that's then they were realizing that I was indeed a boxer, because I kept it as a secret. While going there to boxing gym, they thought that I was going to soccer pitch.
So you were rebelling.
They no, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, the thing is, I just wanted to revenge from those guys who brutally hurt me in boxing gym, because I felt it was unfair, because it was my first 2 days. I didn't even know how to throw a jab, but they included me in their rotational sparring because they felt that I was going to play along with them. I wasn't serious. So maybe they were testing my passion about sport. And then indeed they found out.
Oh, you went back and you probably won an awful lot more things than they did.
Yeah.
I said you still went back despite what happened. You went back to
Yeah.
boxing and look how successful you became.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I'll just keep giving you questions. So please, others, other schools, do we have some more
Yeah,
questions?
we've got another one from CSTLC. Austin's asking, where is through your boxing journey, where's the best place you visited and why?
Are most sports played outdoors, or are there any indoor sports facilities that the students can use? Well, we have Lehakwe Recreational Center. It has both outdoors and indoor facilities. Even though it is privately owned. So it's much more expensive, because in Lesotho, we have nothing. So yeah, we cannot afford to pay those. We cannot afford to pay those facilities.
Nick, did you ask what country?
Yeah, Austin's asking, through your boxing journey and your travels, where's the best place you've visited and why?
All right. My ideal place was Bangkok, Thailand. 2018, I went there. It was a world boxing championships there. And then I spent almost 2 months there. It was such a great country. And I fell in love with it, and I would like to visit time and again in future. One other thing, we were there in Wales in 2014. We were having a camp there. Is it Lindor University?
Sorry?
Where was that?
Is it Lindor University in Wales?
Lindor University in Wrexham.
Yeah, exactly. Wrexham, yeah. We were there in 2014 before we depart to Glasgow.
And how did you find Wales? Did you like it? Well, this putting you on the spot, but
Yeah, Wales, it's a peaceful country, and people there, the reception is top class. The reception was top class.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do we have other questions? Please feel free to just unmute yourselves or again put them into the chat. While we're waiting to see if anybody has any more questions, I wanted to ask you, has boxing become more popular now?
Well, back then it was more popular, but for now it's declining a bit. But we are trying to, since I ventured into, I came along for administration. We are trying to focus more on development because there were no kids. We were only focusing on elite athletes. So
Okay.
just to bridge up that gap between elite athletes and youth team, we had to focus on youth development, on grassroots.
Thank you. Any questions? No, do we any more? Just put them into the chat. So you said now you're part of the Commonwealth Commission in Lesotho?
In Lesotho, I'm a board member, Lesotho National Olympic Committee board member. I am Athletes Advisory Commission in Commonwealth Games Federation, representing Africa.
And does that take up a lot of time? Are you still boxing?
No, I'm not boxing. I retired in 2022 post Birmingham Commonwealth Games.
Quitting at the top. Yes, nice one. Yes, engineer.
Yeah, because I wanted to give my academy more attention.
Okay. And are there more gyms now available in Lesotho, or is it still quite difficult to get access to training facilities?
It's still quite challenging, but we are hoping for the best.
Is there an interest for boxing in Lesotho?
Well, they are trying to disperse the proposals to corporate world, but to no avail. There are no funds.
Yes, so still some challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Any more questions? Oh, sorry, Bro Priscelli.
We have a question. One of our students, Delmi, would like to ask a question.
Hi, was there a big jump in the boxing facilities in Lesotho compared to the facilities used for the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games?
Pardon?
Was there a change? Was there a big change or difference in the boxing facilities in Lesotho compared to the Commonwealth Games?
Yes, at Commonwealth Games, there are so many quality facilities. There's a quality facility at the Commonwealth Games, but in the country, we just work at the stadium, outdoor. So yeah, so it's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Can I ask a question, please, Rachel?
Yeah, carry on.
Following on from Delmi's question, do you think that the government in Lesotho give enough respect and attention to sports in general?
Well, the government doesn't support sport at all because they are taking it as a recreation, as it says. Yeah. So there's no investments injected in sports.
It's interesting for us because we can't wait to visit our school, Mount Royal High School, because we're going to be working on a project with sports, and it'll be really good to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? I'm just checking my list. I've always got loads. So, in your role now with the Commission, with Commonwealth Commission, what are your aims now? What are your plans for the future? What do you hope to achieve, say, within the next 5 years? What would, if you had a magic wand, what would you like to see happen in the next 5 years, or even 10 years?
Well, I would like to see athletes having proper facilities to train, because that's the only thing that will mold them for best performances in future, locally, internationally, and otherwise. So we are going, my aim now is to influence the governments or administrators, sport administrators, maybe to try to source out some funds to try to construct the proper facilities for these kids, so that in future we don't have this kind of challenges.
Okay, yes, you have some clear plans. Great. Thank you. Nick, are you about to ask another question?
Yeah, just an interesting one from one of our students. They're just wondering if you could describe Lesotho in 3 words, what words would they be?
You can have a minute to think about it, Antati.
Such a difficult question. Well, Lesotho is a fantastic country. This time around, we are now trying to regain our peace, and yeah. Peace, reign, prosperity, as it says.
That Hotsopulanala.
What?
Is it Hotsopulanala?
Yeah, Hotsopulanala. Peace.
I remember as much as I can. Oh, nice question, Nick. Thank you. You should ask Nick now. How would you describe Wales in 3 words?
Yeah, please. Can you describe Wales in 3 words?
Oh, that's me on the spot there.
Yeah.
Wales in 3 words. Passionate. Vivid and bold, I would say.
And if anybody else wants to put anything in the chat, they're 3 words. Go for it.
Our students have just added wet. We have lots of rain at the moment.
We have lots of rain.
Yes, it's raining everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'd add proud. We are very proud of our heritage and our language. We love our language, Cymraeg, the same as you love your language, Sesotho.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. And well done for that, Nick. Right. We only have a few more minutes left. I don't know. Did the other person turn up? Because there would only be a few more minutes. But if not, we got about 5 minutes left of this session. I don't know if you or Desitsa want to say anything else, or any of our other schools would like to say anything.
Richard.
Hi.
Yeah. The reason why this gentleman is here is because he has achieved more than you can think of. So he's really an inspiration, truly inspiration to our youth. He's also taking from us because I mean we found no reason of not approaching him and then asking him to be one of the first. Actually, he is the first ever in Lesotho. an Olympian who has been voted, selected to represent an Olympians and then the athletes in the Lesotho National Olympic Committee. So he's the first one. He's the first ever. It is because of his conduct and his remarkable achievement. So, of course, if you listen to his sports background, you can tell that determination and the will are everything. If he was not determined enough to be a boxer, he would have quit when he was given blows by those who punched him when he first attended the boxing practices back then. But because of the determination, here he is today. He sits in the World Commonwealth athletes representative, and he is representing Africa in that. Who would ever thought a man coming from this small country of the 2 million population without any professional sports facility, who would ever thought we will have this kind of a boxer, this kind of a man of his caliber sitting in the World Commonwealth or World Olympic athletes representative of Africa. But because of the sport, there he is sitting there, saving Africa, saving the world. So sports can give you what you never thought of. That's why we were saying to our learners in Wales, please do not sit, just do something. Attend any sport, and then maybe, who knows, you will make it to the Olympics. By the way, just this recent Olympics, I was with him in Paris, representing Lesotho together because of the sport. But we come from different backgrounds. You see, sports brings people together. It doesn't matter your backgrounds. Thank you.
Yeah, that was, well, you took a lot of words out of my mouth. You're, both of you today, I'm sure I could say on behalf of the other schools as well, thank you so much for sharing your stories. They're so inspirational, and the word that jumps out to me is determination, overcoming lots of obstacles in terms of potential finance, facilities, all of those things, and to then go on to be so successful. You are truly inspirational role models, not just for your youth in Lesotho, but also for our young people in Wales as well. And you're so right that the sports bring us together and something that we can share. But I'm so happy that you could do this for us today, and it's been just amazing listening to your stories. It's so inspirational. Thank you so much. I'm just going to hand it out to anybody else who might want to jump on and say something.
Rachel, one of our students, Osh, wanted to say something. You've taken the words right out of his mouth.
Oh, sorry.
On the behalf of Broad Preseli, it's just been an inspiration to listening to them both this morning, afternoon.
It's been fantastic. We feel really privileged. He's getting all embarrassed but it's been a real privilege to listen to you both. We feel very fortunate to have had this opportunity to listen to what quite evidently is two extremely knowledgeable, talented, determined and inspirational individuals. So thank you, Rachel, for organising it all. We feel extremely lucky, and no doubt we have learned a lot in that hour about what it takes to really achieve and be the best that you can be. So thank you. It's been an inspiration. Diolch.
Diolch.
Can I jump in, guys? Apologies, I'm in my sick bed, so I'm not looking my best, but can I just jump in? For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sharon Flintwood, and I'm the co-executive director of Dolan, and I lead on programmes. So I'm working closely with Rachel on this project, and I work very closely with the CITSO already. in both his capacity for Lesotho Rugby Academy and the Sports Commission. Huge thank you, Bontate. Amazing session. I have one request. When these guys come to Lesotho in February, if you are around, can you do a fitness session with them? Maybe some sparring, maybe a little bit of taekwondo, a bit of rugby. I'm sure they would very much appreciate some active learning, as well as maybe meeting you in person to do further Q&A. But thank you, Rach, for putting this together. It's been truly inspiring for everybody. There's a few questions in the chat from St. Kenneth, but I think we're going to run out of time. So maybe that's worth picking up on next time we have a meeting. But thank you, Bontate, and take care.
Dear Sharon, and Grotho.
Right, any other schools?
For you, Ndadidithiso.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Amelia.
Also say congratulations to Ndadidithiso.
Thank you, Amelia.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to draw excuse me, I'm going to draw this to a close, unless anybody else has anything to say. I feel really privileged to have been part of this afternoon. My bit was easy. All I had to do was ask Desitsu if he would do it, and he jumped at it straight away. Never a problem. And what you brought in this meeting has left quite a mark on most of us listening. So thank you so much to everybody. I am now going to stop recording when I find the button. This is the useless bit. I don't know where the recording button's gone.
I could do it, Rach. It disappears. It goes.
Yeah, but I've got the chat open and everything, so I
go on to more, the 3 dots more, and it's in there. Can we take a screenshot, guys, of a little selfie of us all?
Can I just grab a couple of students a sec, Sha?
Yeah, please.
McKen's.
St. Ken, can you pop your camera on so you get a little shot of everybody? This will be our first official Tithe tweet, for those of you going over. So I'm looking terrible, but I do need to be in there. Hey, Amelia, pop your camera.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Have a little picture. Looks like you're in the cupboard, Mr. Dodd.
No, Nick, the flag looks beautiful behind you.
I'm not going to lie, I am in a cupboard.
Looks like my office when I was teaching art.
All the meeting rooms in school are full, and my class is filling my workshop, so I'm in the timber cupboard at the moment.
Brilliant. That's commitment. That's commitment, Jonathan. Thank you. Amelia, pop your camera on. Wonderful. We got some students there from CSTLC. Excellent. Right, let's see if Amelia's video will work, or maybe she's having a bad hair day like me. If not, I'll do the print screen this side, Rach. Okay, so
Okay.
everybody in Lesotho, when we say smile, we say Lashili Shili. Okay, so after 3, 1, 2, 3. Lashili
Chili.
Right, I'm going to do 2 just in case it didn't turn out. Bear with me. Oh, actually, that's a nice one. We'll do one more though. Amelia's there. Go on, Amelia. Get your face in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lashili Shili.
Chili.
Wonderful. Thanks, everybody.